Hello, parents. This is Steve and Demi back trying to give you a little bit of self-care this week and some updates on what we've been doing in class with all of the kids this week. So most everybody has been working on some character work, and some of them with the older kids, that means that they're getting into like developing various characters through using body and voice. And the younger ones are even learning how to use body and voice as well. And so one of the things that I thought I would give to you this week is a follow-up, is some of the games that you can play that work on those same concepts for character work. One fun game that I always play is a game called Character Hat. And it's a game where like you just throw a bunch of characters into a hat and then you pull them out. It's like charades, right? Except you can walk and talk like that character. So like for little ones, sometimes I keep it generic. So it might just say like grandma or mom or something like that. Or a baby or something, so that you can try to guess like what type of character they are. The older they get, you can get a little bit more complicated and give them like characters that maybe they are familiar with through television or film. I use a lot of Disney characters for older kids, that kind of thing, and then they see if we can guess who they are based on how they move and talk to us and say hello or whatnot. And we might interview them as their characters, similar to what the older kids have been doing in their class. Some variations that I do with that game is sometimes you can start them by just doing movement, no voice or anything. Just as they draw the character, they have to walk like that character, figure out what parts of the body that character might lead with, whether that's their head or their chest or their belly or their hips. How does that character walk and what do they lead with? And then maybe I take movement away and say, okay, now all we're going to do is listen to you and see if we can hear your voice and see if we can guess what character it is. Voice is a lot harder for the kids to kind of grasp onto, but we've worked on that a little bit as well. So, sometimes it turns into a little bit more of an interview with you kind of asking questions and them trying to answer like their character might answer, that kind of thing. But then you mix it all up, you put the two things together and have a fun game with it. I've also played a very similar game to that. If you have multiple kids in the house, you can give each kid a different character, and we do what's called the character park bench, where they all come into the scene at once and they sit on a bench together and they start a normal conversation, but as their character. And the only rules of the game is they can't give away who they are. So the other person on the bench is trying to figure it out, like, who am I talking to? Wow, they're still playing their character as well. So for example, if we were playing this and I got Abraham Lincoln and Demi had Taylor Swift, Demi comes in and starts acting like Taylor Swift, and I come in acting like Abraham Lincoln. We just start a normal conversation together, and I'm still trying to figure out who she is. She's trying to figure out who I am in the process of the conversation. And once we figure it out, then the game's over. So that's a fun little variation. So have some fun, play some games that work on character skills and using your body and your voice. The kids seem to love that. And it's also fun for the whole family because it's kind of like a version of charades, only with characters. So that's my tip of the week for to follow up on things that the kids are learning in class. Demi, do you have a cool self-care meditation that you could lead us through tonight?
I do. We're going to do just a little bit of breathing to start, just to focus in and recenter. So find a seat, or if you're lying down, make sure your spine is really nice and long. And just take a couple shoulder shrugs and maybe wiggle the muscles around your face, relax through your jaw, and begin to settle your eyes, maybe even close them. And then find your hands somewhere on your body, whether it's on your heart and your belly, somewhere on your thighs, just finding a little bit of connection, starting with a deep breath in through your nose. And a deep breath out through your mouth. Make a big sigh. Take a deep breath in once more. Fill all the way up. And exaggerate the breath out. Deep sigh out. And find a couple more breaths like this. You can stick with the exhale out through your mouth or right back out through your nose if that's comfortable for you. just starting to elongate each inhale and every exhale. And as you continue breathing, start to really slow down. See how much air you can truly take in. Fill to capacity on your breath in. And on your breath out, truly empty out completely. Good. As you start to slow down your nervous system, just notice how your body responds. And we're also doing exercises with your kids to slow down, to reconnect, recenter ourselves. Your breath is so important. We take about 26,000 breaths on average per day. And at any moment, just by focusing on one single breath, you're fully present. And every breath is unique. From moment to moment, what's happening in your body is a reflection of how you're breathing. So the two are connected, mind and body. And as we slow down the breath, we're also calming the mind. So take just a couple more breaths here on your own and notice how you feel. Being really interested, really curious about the breath, even noticing maybe the sound that it makes or the way that it's feeling inside of you as you breathe in and as you empty out. Take one more breath, and when you're ready, empty your lungs, big breath out, and then open your eyes. Steve, do you feel a bit more calm?
I feel a lot more calm.
Oh,
that
good.
helps me to calm down every week. I enjoy that.
Good. Yeah, it's just a quick thing. Just slowing down, even from day to day. You don't need to be seated. Sometimes I'll be cooking and chopping veggies, and if I'm feeling overstimulated, I just pause, I take a deep breath in, I take a deep breath out, and it helps you refocus right in that moment.
What I like about it too is that it literally, you can do it in a minute. Like, it doesn't take a lot of time at all. If you just need a minute to recenter and gather yourself to, come back to some sort of calmness, it just takes a minute. And all of a sudden, I just felt my pulse slow, everything.
Yeah, it's just a good reminder.
Yeah.
A little bit of mindfulness. Like I said, we're teaching your kids, parents, the younger ones that I'm in charge of, I say swallow a bubble. So you're welcome to use that phrase. The students like it because they envision a bubble in their mouth. I say swallow a bubble and let that go. So they're breathing big without even realizing it. And then the older students, 3rd to 6th graders, are doing some more breathing, a little bit more advanced, where we are finding a little bit more connections, slowing down the breath, kind of like what I did with you. And we ask them, do you feel better? Do you feel a little bit more calm, a little bit more present? And almost always they say yes, because it's just a physiological response. Your body is going to feel that way.
That's great. Thank you, Demi.
You're welcome.
Thank you, parent. Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, enjoy, parents. Have a great rest of your week.
Thank you, parents, for tuning in. And I'm just going to do a quick reminder here as we jump off, and that is we are right now having registration opened up for the second session of all of our classes, which would start the week right after. So July 14th for the little ones, July 15th for the 3rd to 6th graders, and 16th for teen group. And they will go for another 4 weeks. So they would end the first week of August. So the price is the same. It's $60, 4 weeks. They will be doing different things than what they're doing now. So it's not the exact same class, even though it has the same title. They're going to be doing different exercises. They're going to be building off of things. So please go to our website, find out more information, and sign up. All right. We have one more of these before the week is over. So we'll see you all next week for our final week. Bye, parents.